Hello, friends. Today we're going to talk about something very important in today's times. A couple of people asked me, and sometimes the youngsters have approached me, and they ask me, he says, Dr. Shah, I really feel that I can do a lot, but somehow something happens and I cannot. What do I do about it? It's a very, very practical question, and really the answer is very deep if you really try to understand. And there is definitely a technique where you can perform better in life. You can change your life pattern completely, and you can take right decisions in life. And all these things are possible, and the potentialities in you are immense, infinite. But how do we deal with this? So I explained to him there is a simple terminology that you may want to understand. One is called abilities, and another is called capabilities. So he says, what is the difference? I explained to him that your abilities are abilities of who you are. Right now, you are living at your mind level because that's more smarter and more capable of handling the life than the body. So between the body and the mind decides, takes all the decisions, especially in nowadays with all these intellectual fields are developing. The mind has become extremely important. So mind does expose the body to the different parts of sansar. Sansar is anything that moves. Sansar is the world around us. That includes the physical world and also the peoples and their interactions, their ideas, exchange of thoughts, beliefs. All these things are thrown out to us, and they are all stored in our mind level. So between this give and take and the mind handling how to behave in this world, it's a part of sansar. And that's where your abilities are checked out. Whatever actions you do, you will be compared. You will have a yardstick that you will be measured against. If you achieve something, then somebody else who has achieved more, you will be stacked against them. And all these comparisons are going to happen. And this is where your abilities are going to be judged and evaluated, criticized, sometimes praised. It all depends. But you are in a constant struggle to be recognized by the sansar. The sansar is made out of people. They keep an eye on you. They watch. All your actions are being watched. So your abilities literally get fashioned, get created by this surrounding world of yours. So what people expect from you, according to that, you change yourself. And your actions in this world are going to be shaped in direct or indirect way by the sansar itself. And it's very unfortunate because looks like literally you are doing it for them rather than yourself. And because that's where your judgment is going to be, right? Because that's where the sansar is going to be evaluating how good you are. So your abilities are shaped and reshaped and more reshaped by the surrounding people, your circle, your friends, your family, your relatives, your teacher, your colleagues, your priest, who knows where you are, whatever circles you travel around in, everywhere you go, you're going to be evaluated. This is happens in a very subtle way, but it does happen. And in our mind, we are continuously aware that we have to perform in this society. So there is a continuous struggle, mental struggle. So this is where our abilities are created, but at the same time, they are created in response to others. In other words, we are really living it for others. And we really have no other way out of it because we don't know anything else. This is all we know. Since we were born, we interacted with our parents and our children and our spouse and our friends and relatives and our siblings, and all those people have shaped us, and their ideas, their beliefs got filtered into our minds. And based on that information, we are acting in the world, and our actions, our abilities to do those actions are going to be judged also by them. So we are, if you understand it, we are living in a very, very confined environment. And this is unfortunately the way most of the people live their lives, and they die at the end of their lives without really knowing or trying to know what is beyond all these things. So we are like a herd of sheep. We are doing what everybody else is doing. Even when we are doing something, we're looking around in the corner of the eyes to see how other people are doing, and then we follow them. And our friends smoke, so we pick up a cigarette and we smoke. They drink, so we pick up a drink and have a drink. All these things are really to please others, to fit into the environment, and which is really a shameful thing to do. And this is not the only place where it stops. Politicians, how about politicians? They do whatever their voters want them to do, because if they don't do what their voters want them to do, they won't be elected. So all along, their eyes are focused on their voters. Same thing, all these religious leaders, they want to be praised by their followers. And followers also have their definite ideas how a religious leader should be. So a religious leader will do basically what will please their followers. So in other words, we are really continuously looking at each other. If you look at the film actresses or actors, they do what other people want, what the viewers will want them to do. So all these things really we are like shaping each other. And we really don't have any definite idea how to progress in life, how to bring independence from all this closed system. This herd of sheep, there is not a single sheep wants to stand up and they say, well, enough is enough. I want to do something on my own. And that's why the freedom is so important. But are we really free? I don't think we are. Even if you post something in WhatsApp or Facebook, right next day you want to check, or even before, how many clicks I got, how many viewership I have, how many people are following me. Now, it really doesn't matter. Even if there are more or less, it would not really matter, but it really boosts our ego. And our ego is very, very limited within the sansar and nothing beyond that. And this is how most of the people live their lives. And unfortunately, they end. So what is beyond all these things? How do we go beyond all that? How to bring out your true potential out, bring it out in the world? You may have so many things that you are capable of. And that's where the word capabilities comes in. There is a huge difference between abilities and capabilities. Capabilities is what you are capable of. And where are those capabilities hiding? For that, you have to really go beyond your mind. Mind is what we already know. We know our thoughts, we know our beliefs, we know our ideas, and we know what is happening in the outside world. But as we know, it's only 10% of the total mind. Beyond that knowable mind is the subconscious mind, that we don't know much about it. And beyond the subconscious mind is even there is a huge field, ill-defined field of consciousness where nothing exists that we know of. So there is a lot of things. It's like a tip of an iceberg that we know, but the 90% of the iceberg is hidden. So for that, there is meditation. In meditation, you learn how to observe your mind, not try to change it, not try to change your behavior, not try to abolish any thoughts that you don't like. You just be a witness. And it is something that you develop a practice of. And little by little, what happens is in a very convenient time, you set aside and you start doing meditation. In meditation, you observe your thoughts, which are coming and going, coming and going. It's like guests are coming and guests are going. Now we are so busy taking care of the guests, we don't know who we are, really. Who is entertaining those guests? Our thoughts come, we pay attention to those thoughts, we act according to thoughts, we take care of the thoughts, and in due time, the thoughts go away, but other thoughts come again. The process never stops. So this is our house, but we never have a chance to spend time with ourselves. Who are we? We don't know, because our mind is continuously occupied by what this sansar is throwing at us. All these sceneries that is changing, whether it's the depressing news from the CNN or enlightening sunlight, sunshine that you're seeing outside, beautiful flowers on, everything is coming to us. Now, they come, but they don't last. They last for a very short time. You may be excited about looking at a beautiful flower, but at the end of the day, it wilts away. You may be excited to have spent time with your friends, but after 2, 3, 4 hours, the company ends. You have to end and you have to go back to work. So all these things are there. There are pluses and minuses, but they all have one common thing. They all are short lasting. Your sukh, the happiness, does not last long, and your dukh, the unhappiness, also does not last long. So we are continuously looking for something that will make us happy, and we are continuously looking for something that will take us away from something that's making us unhappy. In the whole process, we never spend time inside our own house. Where is the house? What if these guests are just not there? What will happen to our mind? That's what we really learn how to meditate. In meditation, you just learn how to observe the thoughts. Thoughts will have their own energy. They will have their own speed. They will have their own strength. They will come, and you let them come. If you don't do anything, they will go away by themselves. So in the beginning, all you need to do is to learn how to let your thoughts go without getting involved. Little by little, this practice starts getting deeper. And then at some point, you start asking yourself, who is watching the thoughts? Now, that's the most crucial step in the journey of meditation. When you start asking yourself, who is really watching these thoughts? Yes, thoughts are coming. They're staying for a while and they're going away. But who knows? Some kind of entity within us knows that thoughts are coming and going, coming and going. And what is that? So that's when you start walking away from your thoughts and you start going deep within. And again, this does not happen overnight, but it does happen. It does happen. Eventually, you go within into this deep field of only consciousness, the knowledge. It is emptiness. It's all dark, very empty, but it's full of awareness. This awareness, it's attribute, and it does exist. So you start spending time in that. Now, that part of that is your subconscious mind. And at some point, if you're lucky, you can even go beyond the mind. And beyond the mind is a thoughtless state, which is absolutely serene, absolutely tranquil, and absolutely beautiful. So when you start experiencing that field, you are beyond even the subconscious mind. Now you would think that what happened to my abilities, which I can do right now, whatever I'm doing in sansar, I do have some abilities, right? True. Where did they come from? They came from within. You did have those abilities, but your abilities got modified. They got smothered. They got poisoned. They got tainted by the society and the people's behavior. If your friend says, let's go gambling, you did not have a courage to say that I don't like gambling. let's do something else, or why don't you guys go ahead? I'll go for a hike, something like that. We give in to a lot of things, and that modifies. And those are just visible entities, but they did have roots at some point in this deep field of, I call shunyata. Shunyata is zeroness. Zeroness is nothingness. And just like in a seed, a tree is hiding. A definite tree comes out of the seed, correct? But if you open the seed and dissect it, you don't see the tree. What happened to the tree? The tree is hiding as a potentiality. So the same way, our deep state of samadhi state, that we call that, which is a thoughtless state, is full of potentialities. These potentialities are so many different kinds. We just don't know. It's not that easy to study that, okay, you can study your mind and you can say, okay, I'm capable of, say, going fishing. I can catch fish, or I can run a marathon, or whatever. Those are your abilities. But all your abilities, as we said, are governed, coined, and designed by the samsara. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about so many infinite possibilities, infinite potentialities are hidden within you. But how do you bring them out? You cannot use your mind for it, because mind cannot go beyond itself. Let alone mind, it cannot even go into the subconscious mind, let alone the samadhi state. You cannot even go into that. There is no role for the mind. Mind means thoughts. So you cannot just think it out that what kind of potentialities, let me go and study. No, it doesn't happen that way, because it is in a potential form. All your capabilities are hidden in potential form. But for that, all you need to do is go within and spend time in this beautiful state of samadhi, which does come with the proper training. And then eventually, with proper practice, you start spending more and more time in this zone, in this field of silence, where there is nothing there. There are no thoughts, there are no beliefs, there are no ideas, there are no convictions. There is nothing, nothing, neither yours nor someone else's either. So here, there is nothing to measure. You are just yourself. And beyond certain point, you even, when your thoughts, all of them disappear, one of the thoughts that disappears, that I am this mind, I am this body, even that disappears. You dissolve your ego and you spend your time in this field of homogeneous field of nothingness. And when you spend time over there, these potentialities eventually start coming out. What did you do to bring them out? You really didn't do a whole lot. You just allowed a passageway for these potentialities to come out. All you did was subdued your mind. You just neglected your mind. You just didn't pay attention to the mind. So mind started quieting down. And when the mind started quieting down, all these potentialities start surfacing. Now, what kind of potentialities you have, I don't know, and neither will you. They will come out little by little. You will start having a confidence in yourself, because now you know who you are. You are that consciousness. You synchronize. You become one with this field of consciousness. And when you become one with this field of consciousness, suddenly you realize that your mind, your body, that was a very limited existence. Not just limited, but comparative. You always were compared, whether somebody else did it for you or you did it yourself. Most of the time, it's ourselves. But that's where the limitations were. And that's where the defeats happened. Your capabilities got smothered and did not have any outlet, because now your mind is continuously active to fit into this samsara. What would I do that will attract more people? What would I do so that I'll please my parents? What would I do that it will please my girlfriend or boyfriend or friends, whatever. I don't want to say, no, I don't want to smoke marijuana just because they're my good friends. And if I don't smoke, they will drop me as a friend. Things like that. These are all beliefs which were locking your potentialities, your capabilities, and they were getting smothered. So what happens is, through the meditation, you open up these channels and you allow these potentialities to flow. Which potentiality, in what form will come out, nobody knows. But one thing for sure is, whatever comes out will be beautiful. And why is that? Because it's coming from the divinity itself. Beyond the mind is the divine consciousness. Divinity, the divine consciousness, is uniform, is non-dual. There is no duality, because mind is full of duality. Mind has to choose. I like this person, I don't like this person. I like this, I don't like this. I want to go after this, I want to run away from this. This is a total waste of energy. So what's going to happen is, beyond the mind is a non-dual state. This is the state of consciousness. This is the state of existence. Existence is Sat. Existence is something that will be always exist. The existence, there is no way to go beyond the existence. And consciousness is Chit, Sat, Chit. And the settlement that you do in that state is the Anand. So that's the state of Sat, Chit, and Anand. In that state, you cannot think of anything wrong about anyone else. And yet you will have your own ideas. You will have your own new innovative ways of changing your own life first, and eventually the world around you. So all these beautiful things will come out. The reason is, beyond the mind is the kingdom of consciousness, kingdom of heaven. This is kingdom of godliness. The godliness has to take care of the whole world, all the animals, plants, everything that exists. It is under the umbrella of non-dual consciousness. Everything that is conscious and unconscious is under the umbrella of consciousness. So whatever ideas will generate within you will be beneficial not only to you, but it will be significantly beneficial to the people around you, the society around you also. At this point, because these are your original ideas originating from your inner self, you will not have to compare yourself. You will just know that it is the right thing to do. And with this conviction, with this fundamental, total confidence in yourself, the power that you will have in your life will be totally different. So the key to reach to this infinite pot of gold, to say the least, infinite pot of potentialities, which is within you, the path is the meditation. So meditate regularly, learn how to meditate, go within, and just keep the channels open and let the life, which is real life within you, let it flow. Ultimately, this is the only way to live life. Because right now, as the people are living, they're living the life of a sheep in a herd. They're living for the herd, not for themselves. But the lion is hidden within you. And this lion has to rise, who can make its own decisions and can break away from anyone else, even if he may think that it's maybe different. It may not be pleasing, but eventually you will be in control of your own life. And when you die towards the end of your life, these are the moments you will take with you, because these are the moments you have lived for yourself in a beautiful way. So go within, change your life, meditate. So much for today. Thank you, guys. We'll meet again.